Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? A lot of people are going to sit there and think that, well, maybe it wasn't such a great day, right? That's what a lot of people are going to think. I'm sitting here saying to myself, no, it was a great day. Bitcoin dipped to 98,000. And some people are going to be not pleased about that. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. Um, I should be, what? Oh, that's interesting. You want me to log in again? Skip that. I'm not logging in again. So we're doing something, I'm kind of trying to make this like a regular thing. So we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook. I'm trying to bring Facebook up so I can see the comments while I do everything. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. And Facebook does not make it easy for you to see everything, which is not cool. Live video, and it should already be there. Like I should already be there and everything. Oh, snap. Sean is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. What the heck? Yeah, skip that. Mushrooms for Kevin. Yeah, but have you invested in yourself? Rick, can you hear me? There's a lot. We were having mad sound problems with because of Vimeo. They changed a couple of things, so yeah, wasn't happy about that. For some reason, supposedly I'm live on Facebook and I can't see it. Isn't that awesome? That's got to be awesome. Grrr. That's really annoying because I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see everything that's going on in case people have questions and everything. Hey, everybody on Facebook, if you're on Facebook watching me, do me a favor, go over to YouTube and watch us because I can't seem to be able to bring up Facebook streaming, which is not cool. You would think you'd be able to do that. As a matter of fact, let me try. Excuse me. Let me just try one more thing. Right? Let me just try one more thing. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. There is a lot to talk about. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to take care of these little things that I couldn't do before. Right? Amazing. Freaking amazing. No, we don't want to make it easy for you to find your events that you're registered for or anything else. We don't want to do any of that. Why would you want to do that? More events. It still says starting soon. I don't get that. How is it starting soon and I'm streaming right now? That's amazing. Look at that. Yes, I can hear, sir. And yes, I invested in myself today. I invested in myself and others. Nice. Nice. Hutanik was the first to say that he invested in himself. Strategy, I guess, looking good. I guess. There are a few stocks that if you're paying attention that are looking good today. I don't know. Maybe I'm not streaming on Facebook. It says I'm streaming on Facebook and maybe I'm not. We streamed earlier. And it's telling me off that I can't see it right now. Going absolutely nuts over this. No, not that one. Just bear with me. I just really want to get this right because I was asked by a lot of people, hey, can you stream on Facebook? And all that good stuff. Then I would appreciate that you don't do that because people are going to take you serious or take you seriously. That's not smart. But there are a lot of stocks that are looking good today. Kathy Wood dropped another 30 million on Circle, for instance, because Circle took a dive a little bit. But Circle took a dive, yesterday or late yesterday? That's why they did it, which is cool. Not mad about that at all. Crypto Overflow. But there's a lot of news. Tonight's question: Who just launched instant Bitcoin payments? Was it Venmo, Coinbase, PayPal, or other? Asking for a friend. Just saying, asking for a friend. I think that's going to be something. Yeah, Facebook is saying that it didn't start yet. How is that? That's nuts. So let's save that and let's do this. Or maybe I have to actually click go live for Facebook to actually kick in. But it's weird because I'm using the same mechanism for you guys over on YouTube. So it's hard for me to understand that Facebook isn't actually up and running. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. I think Facebook is just having issues. That's what I think. But I can't stop the world for Facebook. Right? That can't be a thing. Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh, no, it does say I'm live. Yes. It's just not registering where I want it to register. That's fine. So I have to go to the page and actually see it on the page. Okay. But at least now I can actually see everybody if they have questions. So I'm comfortable again. Now, let's get to the rest of the show. No, I'm not going to log into that right now. The news. SUI Foundation launched USD SUI or USD SUI. And it's a stable coin by Stripe's Bridge subsidiary. We heard about this a couple of weeks ago. But they're aiming to bridge DeFi and traditional finance. Stripe is a good vehicle to do that. If you look at PayPal, you look at Stripe, those are competitors. So it's very interesting that that's actually going on. So I do like that. Hold on. My man, D. Bluey, thank you for letting me know that I am live on Facebook. Because honestly, I wouldn't have seen it. I wouldn't have seen it before. Are you serious? I'm just looking for the comments on Facebook to see if anybody comments. Because somebody commented, I think this morning, and I didn't see it because I didn't have it up and running. I wasn't expecting anybody to actually be on because it's new. It's brand new, so I don't know. But again, who just launched instant Bitcoin payments? Was it Venmo, Coinbase, PayPal, or other? And if it's other, drop it in the comments so that we know. And 8 Paws is in the house. Everybody, thank you for letting me know that that you have invested in yourself. Sean, have you invested in yourself today? Rick Ritchie has. Hutanic has. You're cooking mushrooms. What's up, Kevin? What kind of mushrooms? That's like a nebulous statement. That's rude. Oh, you think it's other block? Okay. I can see that. Maybe. But I think the big deal with today, just now, the news that we're saying is USD SUI. That I find to be very interesting. Because you have Visa allowing gig workers to get paid in stablecoins. Aha. That's also going to be a game changer in my humble opinion. Now let me see. I have 9 people watching. That's impossible. It's impossible. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm in a good mood. What else do we have going on? U.S. foreclosures. Yeah, surged 19% year over year and up 3% from just last month. So if you're looking at October numbers, which we just got, because clearly I'm not talking about November, we're still here. October numbers up 19% year over year, up 3% from just September, which says that it's a trend because it was up in September as well. Brown mushrooms, and I have. Thank you for letting me know that you have invested in yourself, and I'm busy with our business. You know, you had said what the business was before. What is the business? But that whole U.S. foreclosures thing, Hutanic and I and a bunch of other people have been talking about real estate for a while. Does this not sound like real estate's moving in the wrong direction? Now, I want you to think about this. We don't have enough houses on the market And I'll tell you why in a minute. But we don't have enough houses in the market, which is why housing prices keep going up, even though most people can't afford them. Just see how that looks. So the idea of owning your own home is now out of reach. You used to be able to do it, but now it's out of reach. So it's a big deal. That's right, bookkeeping. That's right. Targeting trades and small business. We should have a conversation. Hold it. What country are you in? We should still have a conversation. So tap me on DM or something like that. We should talk. We are in a financial reset, in my opinion, is what Hutanik is saying. A financial reset. I want to believe that. I honestly want to believe that. But you're not resetting if the housing prices are going up. Things are moving in the wrong direction for it to be a reset. You know what I mean? So I don't know that I would call it a reset. I think I would call it because a reset means that you're going back to something, and we're not. We're basically moving away from something. Further away from where we used to be. Like I said, housing, homes, buying one, out of reach. Out of reach. I'm going to tell you now, if I had to buy my house now, that'd be a joke. That would be a joke. If I even walked into a bank, like prickly hairs in the back of people's necks, and just be like, what the hell is he doing in here? Asking for what? You know what I mean? So like I said, a reset to me means that you're going back to something. And to me, it strongly looks like we're moving away from something. Right? So I get what you mean. I just, I don't know that I can say that. That's a cool area on the list. Global trade and exchange currencies are in reset. Yeah, you have to be very specific about what you're talking about. You can't just make a bold statement, a very broad statement. No, say what you're talking about. Because when I look at housing, that's not a reset. When I look at healthcare, that's not a reset. When I look at insurance, that's not a reset. At least in the United States, that's not a reset. And let me tell you something. It does not look like things are getting better. It does not look like things are getting better. In my humble opinion, I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it at all. I wonder if I can do both. Okay, so no comments yet. I wonder if I would see the comments if the video is not playing. If I just pause it on this side and I just watch the comments. Because it's on live chat. Home Depot stock lost quite a bit. People that are hanging on to their homes don't have enough money to make DIY repairs. A pause, doesn't that make you shake? Doesn't that make you shake? You can't afford to do DIY in your own home. Yeah, it makes me shake. That's no joke. Everything when it comes to housing is being affected. Like, in profound ways. Because when it first started happening, DIY was the way to go. You weren't going out and buying a new house. You were making your current home more comfortable. You know what I mean? Doing little things to make you feel good. But now you can't afford to do stuff. That's yeah. And I heard that mortgages, mortgage requests are going up, and I'm like, I want you to look at who's making those mortgage requests. Those are people with means. Those are people with means, or at least people that think they have means. Because anybody that owns a home knows, well, you don't have to just have money to buy the house. You have to have money to go buy the lawnmower or pay somebody to mow it. You have to have money for those repairs that pop out of nowhere. You know, the flood that you had in your basement, the pipe leaking. You learn how to be a handyman real fast. Real fast. When I was a kid, I was always interested in that kind of stuff. So I learned how to change light sockets without flipping the switch and all that good stuff. Like, I learned how to do stuff. Keep this wire from touching that wire. You don't touch both wires at the same time. Yeah, I learned a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. Plumbing. I'm not great at plumbing, but I know how to do it. I've done it in my bathroom. I've done it in the kitchen. Although when I had something happen in the kitchen and I had a real plumber come in and take care of it. And he looked at the job that I did and he was like, yeah, you could tell that was done by a non-plumber. It was rude. I know I'm going off on a tangent versus what I'm normally talking about, but when you see home prices up 19%, I'm sorry, home foreclosures, that's what I meant to say, home foreclosures up 19% year over year and 3% month over month, you start to go, oh, so this is the world we're living in. And you want to know who leads in foreclosures? One of them will not be a shock. Florida, South Carolina, Illinois. So, yeesh. Yeesh. And I know real estate brokers in Florida, and they're all like, yeah, I don't know why anybody would buy anything in Florida. Why? What are you doing? What are you doing when you buy something in Florida? It's like, insurance, tough to get. Just being in Florida, just being in the state, insurance, tough to get. Maybe you're self-insured. It's tough. It's tough. I look at all these shows and they've got people building new homes and I'm like, you're building a new home? What year was that? What year was that you were building that home? Now? You must be rich. And then I see the homes that they're building. They're made out of sticks. And I'm like, why are you building a home made out of sticks in Florida? And I bring this up because it really does affect all of our bags when you start to think about people that, are setting themselves up for disaster, literally disaster. It's Florida. There's no place in Florida where you should be building anything made out of sticks. That's just me. I'm just saying. Made out of sticks. Like, what? Yeah, okay. But you've got foreclosures going on around the country. There was something like 32,000, close to 33,000 foreclosures. Different stages of foreclosure, but foreclosures in the United States last month. What? Yeah. Just saying. Everyone is waiting on the U.S. to revalue gold. Yeah, I don't think so. I disagree with that statement totally. We could talk about that another time, but I definitely disagree with that statement. I wanted to do an ad that had really bad writing of an invoice for an electrician company. Said that doing two jobs at once. I like Kevin. I knew I liked him. I like Kevin. Sean, you need to go take your little behind to the corner. Go. Just go. Don't say anything. Go to the corner. That's what you do. This time last year, we had to leave Florida because the pipes froze. I'm going to stop reading your comments. It just becomes too much. What other news do we have? Canary Capital's XRP ETF hit today. XRPC. Guess what did well? $26 million. $26 million. In 30 minutes. In 30 minutes. Imagine. So yeah, is that outstanding? No, but it's remarkable. Right? 30 minutes, $26 million? Yeah. Told you there's demand for it. There's demand for ETFs that are doing things in weird places. I mean, in weird with weird coins, right? Canary Capital filed one for MOG coin, MOG. And I'm like, what the heck? There's interest. There's interest. I mean, I don't know what kind of research they're doing to say, ooh, people are interested in this coin. I don't know. I do not know. But they seem to be following that kind of idea. I can't be mad about that. You know what, Hutanik, I just had a conversation with somebody today about building with quality. Like, what have you bought lately that is good? Like 5 years ago, what have you bought longer than 5 years ago that's still going? The days of buying something. Remember when you moved into a house and it was the stove you had worked fine, but you were going to replace it because you wanted something better? I lived in places where, we had that stove for years, refrigerator for years. I remember my mother bought a refrigerator once and we took it with us and it lasted like freaking forever. Freaking forever. Nowadays, that just doesn't happen anymore. What do you need it to do? I don't need it to tell me what groceries are inside. I don't need it connected to the internet. I need it to keep things cold. Frozen or cold, depending on what side you have. You know what I mean? That's all I need. But they get you at the drive-thru. You might as well just rent it, right? Because it breaks down. It breaks down and you're like, wow, 5 years and boom. Yeah, it's called planned obsolescence. That's right. And you're still like, you got to be kidding me with this. It'll piss you off. It'll piss you off. You spend all that money, and basically when you go to the store, you have to look at it and kind of say to yourself, how long is this thing going to last me? 3 years? 5 years? Find out what the warranty is. It'll last 1 day longer. Like, dead serious. It'll last 1 day longer. Remember, you used to be able to get a 3-year, 5-year warranty on like appliances? 1 year. 1 year. Just saying. Yo, greetings. So I'm going to brutalize your name and not on purpose, so I'm apologizing up front. Excuse me, I apologize up front. Sholau Gundale. Am I even close? Am I even close to that? I hate mispronouncing people's names. I swear I think people come up with like tough names because they know I'm going to pronounce it on the show or attempt to, and they know I'm going to screw it up and then they get their giggle on. But welcome. Thank you for coming. Greatly appreciate it. JP Morgan upgraded Circle to overweight with a $100 2026 price target, citing Q3 results, which I'm not mad about. Right? Like I said, Kathy Wood, while it was down, she got the timing right this time. While it was down, bought another $30 million of Circle shares. You can't tell me that's not interesting. Cannot tell me that's not interesting. I think one day what I have to do is I have to like draw a map, like pick a company and draw points for all the things that they touch, right? So if you had Stripe, there's going to be a line from Stripe to, SUI, Stripe to something else, and then SUI to something, and start to see how they actually connect. Man, that would take some firepower. I probably need some like really big servers to like do that based on all the articles that I have. Even if I just said over the last 3 months, draw me a map of what's interconnected. That would be tough. That'd be tough even for AI. That'd be a tough thing to do. Sean, why are you still talking? I could have sworn I sent you to the corner. What are you doing? The average is 5 years. What are you trying to gain? Brownie coins now? Points? Get out of here. No, you're in the corner. You're in the corner. Send Kevin over. Get some common sense going on up in here. What else is there? Upexi announced a $50 million share repurchase plan as its stock fell 50%. Yeah, aiming to stabilize investor confidence amid market volatility. Yeah, that's cute. So we had $50 million laying around, and we're gonna do a repurchase plan to kind of manipulate our stock. It's a legal way of manipulating your stock. I wonder how much your employee is making. Like sometimes I wonder, like if the company has money, publicly traded company has money, but the stock price falls, but they have money and they keep making money. Just not enough money to make everybody happy. Maybe they're instead of that $50 million going toward, I'm not saying that they need to do this. I'm just saying in general, my idea would be if I have money to buy back my stock, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my crew and say, is my crew making the money they should be making? Like just for inflation, are you making enough money to match inflation? That would be, as a leader, that's my first job. Are you matching inflation? Is your value still there? Then once we have inflation taken care of, okay, cool. Now I can think about buying back stock once I take care of all my people. After that, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to give a damn. Right? I mean, I want to boost my stock, but I want to take care of my people first. But it's sad that the first thing that most companies think of is we're going to take this money, we're going to buy back our stock. Meanwhile, their people are suffering. Your people suffer, their work suffers. Then you want to fire people or lay them off or whatever. Take care of your people first. Take care of your people first. Like, that's just a thing. If I'm loaded, I'm eating well. Is my team eating well? I don't need to eat caviar. I mean, that's I went to a shindig and they had caviar. I'm not buying caviar. But is my team eating well? I'm not going to be sitting here eating a steak with Oscar while my team is eating tuna fish. And I mean out the can, bumblebee, whatever, tuna fish. Can't do that. Cannot do that. So whenever I hear about a company buying back shares, my immediate thought, how are your people living? How are your people living? Because I honestly wonder why, 26 point something percent, it's either 26 or 29% of SNAP benefits are paid out to Walmart, right? Because everybody's shopping at Walmart. Meanwhile, a lot of their people require SNAP benefits, but they make billions. I want you to stop and think about that. So yeah, I think that there's a global economic problem. Almost all the countries around the world have debt, and I look for things that are going to be the right decision for us to grow our bags in a world where debt is running rampant, right? So Visa opening up a payment structure, allowing people to get paid in stable coins. Yeah, that to me is interesting. That's a big infrastructure move. I'm looking for that infrastructure. I'm not looking for crypto companies or projects to necessarily go into traditional finance. I'm looking for them to disrupt traditional finance. So when a exchange becomes a bank, they're not moving into traditional finance. They're completely disrupting it. Because now they have an easier way of on-ramping your money. They don't have to rely on a company like Banksa or Transact or Zero Hash or one of these other companies to help them onboard or on-ramp fiat. Basically, they'd be doing it directly. So directly via their own bank, Kraken, directly into their own crypto exchange, Kraken, or directly into their stock trading platform, Kraken. Just saying. That disrupts the market in a massive, massive way. And I know I keep talking about MasterCard buying Zero Hash. I think they're about this far away from closing that deal. You cannot tell me that they're not immediately going to be the next on-ramp. The next massive on-ramp. They're going in the direction of a Kraken. They instantly become... What would be the next move? You buy a stock trading platform? Imagine MasterCard buying a stock trading platform. Oh my God. Imagine that. So when I'm looking at all these infrastructure moves, it's going outward like this and really broadening the reach of crypto. That's the idea. We need to broaden the foundation so we can build more on top. So when I look at these moves, I'm sitting here and I'm going, that's a big move. That's a big move. You put them all together and you go, holy moly, the foundation is almost complete. The foundation is almost complete. And then you start to realize a move by Visa puts the last piece in. Pay your people in crypto, stable coins. What's the next step? Oh, you'll be able to pay each other in crypto, stable coins. Wow. That's not small. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Just testing this Facebook thing one more time to see if it does anything. See if the comments update or anything else like that. Yeah, I guess it's fine. It's fine. There are no live chats. Whatever. Like I said, you just get started. You have to be consistent and you keep going. You have to be consistent. You have to keep it going. What else is there? I put my money on the roof. Would love to see those statistics. Yep. What comes first? A new roof, or asking a lot of dumbass questions. I know you're trying to be funny, but it's not funny. It's not funny. I mean, it is funny. It is funny, but it's not funny. You know what I mean? It is funny. But then when you look at it, you're like, damn, that's actually not so funny. Because it's true. What's the number one reason why people get divorced? Money. Not enough of it. Tired of living like that. Want to try something new without each other. Yeah. Czech National Bank launched a $1 million test portfolio in October 2025, exploring Bitcoin, stablecoins, and tokenized deposits to evaluate blockchain risks and opportunities while cautioning about volatility. They're exploring the possibilities of their very near future. They're on a train and they're careening forward. And they want to know if it's going to be a tunnel or if it's going to be a wall. And you're not going to know until you test things. You're not going to know until you test things. Just saying. Right? Cardano achieved Q3 2025 milestones. One of my guys is up and he's up and still working because his daughter was sick last night. So he had to get some sleep today, and he's up now and he's like, I wasn't awake for those emails. What the hell? So he's like freaking out right now. But Cardano achieved 2025 milestones, Q3 milestones. The first Cardano card, 19.2% rise in daily active addresses and 15.7% network activity growth, partnering with Emergo and WireX for crypto spending. Cardano's making moves and very few people are paying attention. I'm serious. Cardano's making moves and very few people are paying attention. And then one day, people are just, there are just certain things, certain events that happen where people really stop and they go, whoa, when did that happen? Cardano is going to be one of those things. We all know, and we'll be on the side snickering when others realize. But right now, we're seeing something that other people are going to wake up to, what, 6 months, 12 months, and wake up to it and go, where the hell was I? That this is here. What happened? Huh? And I feel like that's what's going on with crypto in general. In general, I feel that there are people out there that are just going to be sitting there looking at crypto and just saying, where the hell did this come from? I opened up Cash App today and it said, you want to buy Solana? Go ahead. Was it Cash App or Venmo? I think it might have been Venmo. Want to buy it? Go ahead. Like, what? Yeah. Crazy stuff. And people are probably like, that's not a big deal. And they'll forget all about it. And then 6 months from now, a year from now, they'll be like, what do you mean you're doing stuff with Solana? What do you mean you're doing stuff with Bitcoin? What do you mean you're doing? It's just going to become ubiquitous. Meaning it will be everywhere. It will be everywhere. And that's what people are looking at. And I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. OKX launched CDFI, a hybrid trading feature merging centralized efficiency with decentralized transparency. Yeah, the whole idea is, I can't believe I actually have to explain this to myself, actually, not to you guys. They announced this a while ago. And now this is look what we did. Infrastructure is being laid out and people are starting to realize, holy moly, that's a lot of infrastructure. For those of us that are in the game now, we're starting to see that's a lot of infrastructure happening. Or rails, as people would call them. Yeah. Pretty soon, everybody will be doing more intricate deals and transactions, and it'll seem like no big deal. That's what we're going to see. And that's what's nuts to me. Just looking at everything that's going on and looking at how the market tanked today, people freaking out because the market tanked. And I'm like, don't freak out. It's another opportunity. Don't freak out. Relax. Relax. People are like, oh, Bitcoin's going to go away. It's fake and blah, 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 like Charles Krug. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. With all of this money spent, all of the infrastructure built, all of the advancements by implementing digital asset solutions, because the old banking system is literally crumbling. It's literally crumbling. At some point, yeah, that's what's going to happen. People are going to start investing in things to make themselves better because they need better technology. Straight up. They need it. We need it. We can't afford to be working with banks that have technology from 40 years ago. Digital assets make it easier for banks, like the backbone of blockchain makes it easier for banks to handle settlements and do other things more efficiently. Save money, be faster, be more nimble, be able to do more. Still, they need to define what a bank is. What does a bank do for me? And on our side, we need to do our own research, know our entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Those are the things that we have to do. And a lot of people are still in a daze. In a daze. They hear people talk about crypto and they're like, haha, hee hee, but they don't actually know about crypto. I can't believe that in all this time, not a single additional comment has been made. That's crazy. That's weird. And just once again, tonight's question, who just launched instant Bitcoin payments? Venmo, Coinbase, PayPal, or other? And if it's other, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. And we'll get to that conversation in a little bit. But were you watching the markets today? Did you watch the markets tank? Palantir took it on the chin. Why did Palantir take it on the chin? Because the military came out and said there are serious security flaws that we don't understand how they overlook these things. They don't have access rights, so anybody that has access to it can see everything. So Palantir took it on the chin, dropped like almost 7%. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So there were a lot of tech companies that took it on the chin today. Hard. Just oof. Because while you're running around acting like you're Mr. Badass and your company can do all this stuff, you couldn't take care of basic access management. I want you guys to think about AI having access to everything and everybody having access to AI. Let that wash over you for a minute. AI having access to everything, being able to send out communications on your behalf, all this other stuff, troop movements, everything. Bringing knowledge and insights to the powers that be in a given situation, and everybody has access to it. Yeah. No access rights or access management. No, it just seems like no thought process was given to it. Just look at what it can do, but you didn't do that basic thing that if you're a private, you don't need to see everything. This level and above, yeah, those are for generals, right? Secretary of Defense, and like the president. But everybody can see it. Good job, Palantir. But you guys are supposed to be real smart. Good job. Good job. Something else, security-wise, there's a company called Flock. And they've got cameras all over different cities and everything else. They sell them to police departments and stuff like that. And they just figured out that their security cameras are being used for nefarious things. Because they give you the data. You just request it and they give it to you. Wow. Stalking. Uh-huh. Yeah. Please look for this license plate. Finds the license plate going from here to here to here to here to here to here. You can actually track it. Wow. Yeah, that's a great job. You have municipalities actually putting that down and giving it back and be like, yeah, no, we don't want any part of that. Federal government being able to come into those systems and just look over people's shoulders, take information. Yeah. And why do I think about that? Because more and more people don't want to leave their houses. They don't want to leave their homes. They're being tracked everywhere. You now don't need, from a security perspective, they don't need a image of your face. They can actually tell by the gait of your walk, how you walk, that that's you. Uh-huh. How does that affect your bags? Well, people change their walks, people put on masks, people do all kinds of things. And nefarious people can use those tools to go against you. Remember yesterday I told you about how Australia said that nefarious characters are using a reporting system, a cyber reporting system, to scam people. These are the things that they're not thinking forward about. So take that concept and put it into other things. You people ask me, Eddie, how come you don't do bridges? How come you're not into bridges? How many bridges have been hacked into? Yeah. Why do you think I tell you guys, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately? Because I need you to dive into, if I'm going to get into that coin, who's working on that coin? What other projects have they done? Have they had any issues with other projects? Did they solve those issues or move over to another project where they can do the same thing? Yeah. I use stories to tell people about stuff so because it helps them memorize stuff like that. Didn't watch stocks but bought more Bitcoin. That's right. That's what you were supposed to do. Notice PAX G is creeping up. That's right. That's right. People are still buying precious metals. For me, I'm just waiting. I think my next big purchase is probably not going to be crypto. I think it's going to be another business. And the reason why is because these people don't have anything to do. They like nobody's buying their business. The kids don't want it, so they just wind up closing their doors. And it's kind of like, don't you want to get something out of it? That's a political statement. We're not going to get into that. But that is on my risk list. Remember I told you that, we have an opportunity list and we have a risk list. What Max Salas just said is on my risk list because not doing so well makes you flail and do silly things, which can affect our bags. So I do pay attention to it. Not from a political perspective, but from a mining my bag perspective. So with all the surveillance, burglaries should be a thing of the past. Good luck with that. Because I just show up to your door wearing a mask, glasses, change how I walk. You think I'm a cop. I'm not. Oh, here's the other part. Did you know that the Ring camera, if you're just walking in a neighborhood, the Ring camera can catch your face and it goes into a database even if you don't have a Ring camera? Yeah. That's a thing too. Yep. Go look it up. So we're living in a place where we need security from security. So my neighbors have Ring cameras. I don't. I monitor my cameras. My brother monitors my cameras. Lord help you if my brother catches you. I'm mean. My brother is evil. And he's capable. Government trained level capable. So yeah, Lord help you if that happens. But I don't have a Ring camera. I'm not giving them out to Ring. And where all the cameras are, I try to make sure that I'm facing in a way that obscures my face. I don't want it pinpointing me. But that's what Ring does, and they call it. I forgot it's some kind of network or something like that. Police departments can tap into it, and I'm just like, yeah, not cool. Fake cameras for flock cameras, yeah, you can try. But then if you get pulled over and you don't have the right license plate, because they run your plates before they pull you over. And they'll pull you over and be like, you have the wrong license plate, your car is stolen, please get out, let's go to the precinct and talk about this. Yeah, but when I look at markets, when I look at everything that's going on now, I am so tempted right now to go buy a whole bunch of crypto. And right now I'm saying, no, don't do that. DCA, I sprinkle, baby. I sprinkle. I keep that going. But I'm not planning on putting anything extra beyond that into crypto. Not because I don't believe in crypto, but because I believe that there are a number of businesses out there that, one, they're going to be scammed. They can be scammed. I've seen a lot of emails coming out. I own businesses, so I get a lot of emails talking about, oh, hey, you want to sell your business? What do you think your business is worth? Yeah, no, I know you're fake. I know you're big. I know you're bogus. Get out of here. You can go away now. But I know there are a lot of other businesses that are getting the same emails and might be thinking, yeah, I want to sell my business, and you're willing to buy it. Yeah, you could buy it. And it's a scam. They don't know how to combat that. Or maybe they don't get scammed and they don't know who to sell to. They don't know what they're doing. Most of these people are just small business owners. And it's time to retire. They've made their money and they're kind of like, yeah, I can make my last chunk of money by selling my business. And they're realizing there's nobody there to sell my business to. So this year, next year, we're already experiencing where people can't sell their businesses. And I'm expecting next year to be worse. For small business owners, small and medium-sized business owners, I think this is a hard time. I think this regime is making it hard to sell a business and making it easy to steal a business. And I don't mean steal a business. I mean just get it for like pennies. Excuse me. Or maybe even let it go out of business. And you just come in with a new business to take its place. But that's not my plan. My plan is I want an established business, knows what, that has customers, all that good stuff. And I can come in, and because we know how to do stuff, we can make it run more efficiently, increase the capacity for business. Of course, I want to keep the staff as much as I can. But there's always somebody that doesn't do anything. Always there to talk about everybody else. Yeah. You got to watch out for those. But I want to make the business more, more capable so that everybody can make more money. My son's mindset when he takes over a business is, well, if I'm there for 3 months and I see everything is running the way it's supposed to run, I want to give everybody a little bit of a raise. Buys loyalty, doesn't it? Because he doesn't have to. So that's the idea. I don't want to put more money into one specific space. I already put money over here. We've already, hopped on to real estate, right? And so now I'm looking at, well, what businesses do we want to do? I want to diversify. One line might make really good money, but it might take me a little while to make that money. Another one might go down while this one's going up. That's why I want the diversification. Now you know why I'm paying attention to things like that. It's a big deal. So I'm just paying attention, little things. So just looking at things and thinking about how we do things and how we shouldn't do things. But looking at where I can invest, where I can make money, or protect my value, right? Because think about this. One of the things that, that I have a conversation with a couple of my friends about all the time is, well, put your money into PaxG or DJet or something else like that and, protect your value. Protect your value. And when things settle, use that value to get back in. So yeah. But when do you do that in crypto? When do you do that in business? When do you do that in real estate? Like, when do you do that? I'm waiting on a lot of things just because I don't think it's a great time. I don't think it's a great time to do certain things. So yeah, just chilling. Waiting. Doing my research, understanding my entries and exits, and absolutely willing to invest deliberately. That's the idea. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Got to stop for a second. Forgot to talk about something. Who just launched instant Bitcoin payments, Venmo, Coinbase, PayPal, or other? Cash App introduced instant Bitcoin payments, global stablecoin support, and the Bitcoin map tool with plans for self-custody tools by the end of 2026, reporting $44 million in crypto profits in Q2 2025. Yep. Who owns Cash App? Block. So yeah, there are a lot of things that are going on. So Square came first and then Block. And then Cash App. Block made the announcement, did it with Square, because all the businesses are there already. And now they're introducing it with Cash App, peer-to-peer. Square's for business. Cash App is peer-to-peer. Competitor to Venmo, PayPal, and the rest of that whole PayPal side of things. PayPal owns Venmo. Don't get it twisted. Now you know why I keep saying pay attention to those infrastructure moves. That's a huge retail move. That's me sending money to Hutanic and Rick Ritchie because we're getting ready to go out for drinks, and I said I would buy them drinks. We live in different areas, so maybe we just raise a glass, toast to everybody. That's the kind of thing. My brother and I used to do it all the time. 7 o'clock. He was overseas in the sand. 7 o'clock. Just raise your glass. No matter what it is, water, whatever it is, just raise your glass. That's what we used to do. Still do it from time to time because I can't get to his house. He can't get to my house sometimes. That's what we do. But those are big time retail moves. When we were looking at infrastructure before, what kind of infrastructure were we looking at? Institutional moves, big business moves. What are we seeing now? Retail moves. Yes, if MasterCard gets their hands on Zero Hash, there are a lot of institutional customers that Zero Hash has. But they'd be able to turn around and like that have a whole retail crypto exchange in a heartbeat with global reach. Because one thing that credit card companies have, really, really good compliance departments. Where everybody else is suffering with compliance, it would be a cakewalk for these guys and gals. So yeah, pay attention. Thanks for that, Hutanic. Pakshi is his number 2. So yeah, pay attention out there, people. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. This is Eddie J on crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about this community, because this is the only community where we will absolutely go at it and still respect each other enough to say, hey, let's go have a beer. Let's go have dinner. Let's catch up. Because the more that we debate, the more that we'll really get different ideas about a given topic. And we'll exhaust everything about that topic and everything will be on the table. And what does that do? It makes it so all of us can better manage our bags. And that's the whole point. Everybody have a great night. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the Crypto Daily. Everybody have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.